Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. It's Thursday night. Sorry for everybody who was expecting a show last week and missed out. Hello, Crispin. Hello, Hugh. David was on holiday, and I had a slightly busy weekend.
Was that before or after you nearly severed your fingers with that scissor?
Oh no, that was the plan was never to go live anyway. The fact that I did nearly cut my hand off with a pair of scissors on Thursday was sort of like just a bonus, really.
It was superficial.
So yeah, basically what's happened is over the weekend I moved, so I am no longer in
A Scottish expat.
Scotland. I did have a plan to upload a little clip of a video for explaining to everybody about the move, but to be honest, I moved house on Saturday, so I've been a little bit busy, frantically fucking trying to get myself back to some degree of normality. So yeah, the no show last week because we were both very busy, and I'm now back in Lincolnshire, back on my old stomping ground.
True yellow belly style.
So the downside of that, of course, is when we talk about what we did at club tonight, this week, it'll be the same thing.
Oh, it might be different if you get games in with other people.
That's true. But mostly it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. So let's be honest. You're already booked up till the end of the month with games with people.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening thick and fast. Bloody had my arm bitten off. Got into club and it's like gives a game. So next week is painting competition week, isn't it?
Yep. So it's called Arkham Horror.
Yeah, we're board gaming, aren't we? You're in the driving seat. Yep. Then the week after, I have my first game scheduled of Mantic's Firefight, the 2.0. So I'm really looking forward to that. Ricky's gonna take me through it. He's got the starter set all painted, ready to go. So that should be awesome. And then the week after, I'm playing Malifaux 3rd edition with Trevor. So I've been sorting my models out and my tokens and making sure I can find all that stuff tonight. Before I came on stream. And then the week after that, I don't know. But
the week after that, you do know you're booked.
What? On the 26th?
With moi.
All right, what were you doing on the 26th?
Infinity, because I'm kicking your ass, because I've got Infinity booked for the next 3 weeks.
That's right, I'd forgot that. Yeah, because you're basically you're 4 weeks on the trot Infinity, aren't you?
Yeah, I didn't have enough Infinity last month, so we're having more Infinity this month. For all of those that are sick and tired of Infinity, leave a F in chat, because it's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's good, because obviously I've now got a fully painted Force.
Oh, you're a tit. You're an absolute tit. Right, pictures and evidence, or it didn't happen. Because I didn't see this shit on Monday. You were just bragging about it.
Hang on, didn't I post picky in chat?
The people at home haven't seen, Paul.
Oh,
the people at home want to see.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will. I've got them on the desk, because although I do say I've finished painting everything, that isn't.
You haven't finished painting everything, have you?
No, because I haven't finished basing them. So.
Why you always lie to me?
So let's.
Anyway, shall we kick off once you've decided what you're doing with what we did at club this week?
Yes. So what we did at club this week is oh, hang on a minute, my video ninja's not working. So what we did at club this week was I had my first game of Gaslands, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Bullied, peer pressured, and beaten into it.
Obviously, I took everybody a bit by surprise, but they were very accommodating and managed to get me sorted with a list. David just knocked something together quick, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, you just to be fair, you wandered in. What was it? 6:30 when you wandered in?
Yeah, I
It's
didn't.
like,
I didn't.
what are you doing here? Because I knew fuck all about the move. So he just wanders in and goes, "Hi." I'm like, "Why are you here? Are you on holiday or something? And you didn't tell me, or what? What's the crack?" He goes, "I've moved." I'm like, "You what?" I've moved back. I'm like, You fucking what?" So yeah, we knocked your list up and we played some Gaslands, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It was good fun. Dan managed to win by sort of stealth, didn't he? It was a 4-player game.
Sheer fucking luck, I think,
and
was
we were playing.
capture the flag.
Yes, which was two vehicles each. I'm just going to have to reset my Video Ninja because it's not picking it up at all. But that's because it's not working. Okay.
It's because it's you.
Just bear with me, everybody. Hey! Is it now working?
I don't know. You and technology don't mix. I need to.
So yeah, it was 4 players, and we had
better.
two cars each.
Yep. So I think from memory, you had performance car.
No, I had a regular car and a truck.
And you were Mishkin sponsored, so you could take the electrical weaponry. Because I thought, let's throw him in at the deep end and let's give him something different.
To be fair, you did ask me, and I thought, oh, electrical sounds cool. So I went with that.
I was playing Miyazaki with a performance car and a normal car. Or was it a truck? Can't remember. Might have been a normal car. No, it was a normal car. I went for HMGs and other bits and pieces and armor upgrades. David or DW was playing with. No, DW wasn't playing, was he? It was Dan that was playing with a truck and a performance car. And then Ricky wasn't there. Ricky wasn't playing. Trevor had a performance car and a truck.
That's right. Yep. And the way it worked out, Trevor and I were sort of deployed quite close to each other, and we got a little bit hyper aggressive with each other at the beginning, and
knocked one another out.
We sort of knackered each other up, really.
Dropping a flag, causing Dan to win because Dan drove over it.
Okay.
That was a thing, wasn't it? What's up?
Is your Video Ninja working?
I've just come off it and gone onto a different app. Yeah, mine seems to be working. Can you see my hand on it?
No, I'm not getting anything.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Video Ninja, what was work? No, yeah. Stop it. Stop.
Mine was working when I set up, but now it isn't, and I don't understand why.
Let me reload the site and see what I...
We may not have any close cams for people, which is damn annoying.
Try mine now.
Yours is working. Yeah, yours is working now.
I just reset the web page.
Is that all you did?
Yeah, just reload the web page, relink it. Because they're obviously named channels now, so we can just do it that way.
Reload. Share your camera.
So yeah, shall we jump down to what I was doing while on holiday, and you can sort your life decisions out?
There we go. Everybody can watch what David was doing while I try and fucking...
So while I was on holiday, I was building these guys. I was building the British for bolt action. So I've got a few models left to build, but this is so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is one of my 5-man teams for full of SMGs, the maximum I can take. I've got a 10-man rifleman squad, so injured guy throwing some grenades. And this squad has a Bren LMG in it. Where's the loader? The loader should be somewhere. Because I made sure my loader had a thing on the back of him. I can't find my Bren loader. Handy. But we have a 10-man squad, all armed with basically rifles and an LMG. So that's section 2. We'll just took them to the side. Random rifleman I was building up for basically the second squad I was doing, because I had an idea of a list that required 13 order dice. Me being me...
yeah, that was quite funny, actually, wasn't it?
Me being me, completely forgot that the... once I get past the pin markers, I've only got 12 of them. And I'm not buying another set for a single order dice because I will be slightly triggered if I use a substitute. So we had to change my list.
Oh.
So I've now got another 10-man squad to build. With rifles and LMGs, they've got anti-tank grenades. I'm at 998 points. We've got 2/3 of the LMG team here. I've got the third guy still to add. We have random rifleman. My medic, so he has absolutely no weapons on him other than this pistol holster around here. We then have my lieutenant. My lieutenant and his buddy. So he's got his bugle for issuing the orders, both armed with SMGs. My flamethrower team in white metal. My sniper with his scope rifle and his spotter, because I thought binoculars are better for spotting than a spotting telescope. And he has his pistol like he's clearing a building. We have my Piat team and loader for my Piat team, if he will focus, with his round in his hand and his rifle slung over his shoulder. And a full ammunition case on the Piat. And then we have the spotter for my medium mortar, because I haven't finished building the medium mortar team yet, but this is my spotter for it. And then we have everybody's favourite unit in the British Army, the Free Forward Observer.
Nice.
With his map case, so he knows where he is. So that is virtually all of my bolt action list built now. I just have to build the medium mortar, another 10-man squad, and that's about it, really.
Okay, so it's not too bad. You're
No.
most of the way there. What are you going to do? Are you going to prime before you do your basing? You're going to do basing at the end?
I'm gonna base at the end, I think.
You're not going to put like a sand and then cover it with primer or anything like that. What are you doing for your basing texture? Like a Geek Gaming Scenics?
I'm possibly going to do my own
copy.
No, I'm probably going to do sand, spackle, and brown paint to make a mud texture.
Okay.
And then put some static grass, because these boys are fighting in Western Europe.
Okay.
The only other place I could have these boys fighting would be in what's it called? Italy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Southern Europe.
Yeah. So
they
are my options.
Okay. So cool. Well, let's.
But then tonight I will mainly.
So what's your plan for tonight then?
They'll sneak into cam now.
Ta-da! So this is for our paint competition at the club. The current theme is team player.
Yes, it is team player.
And it's Monday, so we're all taking it last minute.
And these need repairs after they had a green with some concrete.
Yeah, that was they went for a bit of a dive, didn't they? Well done, you.
But they've come back together all right.
David's Model Care Workshop. How to transport your miniatures super safe.
So yeah, I've got these two guys to finish. And then to do a similar basing style to this. Now, actually, I'm sat here looking at this, thinking this would work for Italian basing as well.
It would. That would work for Med. Probably a little bit yellow. You might want a bit more greenery, like a different
But
static grass.
I was going to say I can switch out the static grass.
Yeah, it's not quite as dry looking.
Or just mix some brown pigment powder in as I do it.
What, for the sand?
Not for the sand, because again, this is quite dusty and dry. This is like desert.
Yes.
If it's not quite so dusty and not quite so dry, along with some greener static grass, not green static grass.
No, sure.
Then happy days.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you put some more. I mean, I think the earth, the soil colour's fine. It's just that it needs to be not quite so dry and yellow looking in the vegetation.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be like Lincolnshire in a bit of a drought and everything's dry and yellow and horrible, and it's September.
Tell you what, the weather's been glorious though. Been sitting at the old back,
I bet.
enjoying it. So that are you finished now, mate?
I am finished. What are you up to tonight?
It might be we'll have to see if I can actually get Video Ninja just not working. Why is it not working? I do not.
It's just you. Video Ninja will die for me because I'm just looking at it.
I do apologise, everybody. I've checked this URL 1,000 times.
What else is everyone working on in chat while Paul is?
No, I'm going to have to give up. So we're going. It's a little bit blue-grey, bad lighting, but tonight we will be painting our competition entry, which is this Blood Bowl Rat Ogre. This is the Forge World one, which we've had for a while. So
I think
that is the plan.
That came when I ordered my stuff, wasn't it?
Hang on a minute. I know what's wrong with my bloody Video Ninja.
Are you old and senile?
I am. You are correct.
Oh, for all those at home, it took all of about 15 minutes before we started taking the piss out of one another properly, for reference.
Yeah.
So, at least you got that to look forward to.
Yeah, we dropped back into comfortable habits. Leave this site. Leave. Share my
brush soap's dried out.
Camera 2, facing back. Audio, no audio. Start.
Right, I'm going to start storing my bolt action miniatures by tossing them in a Chinese container. Whatever could go wrong?
To be fair, as long as the Chinese container doesn't get tossed over your shoulder, you'll be fine.
It doesn't have a lid, for starters.
Let's modify the lighting.
So you're going to be slightly triggered.
You still haven't got a lid for it, for fuck's sake, mate. Here we go, everybody. So, this is what we were talking about earlier. I've actually managed to get all of my 300 points painted for my Japanese sectorial.
Lies, boys and girls at home. He hasn't finished painting it. It's still got unfinished on it.
But as I said, I do have basing to do. So we've got Yojimbo, Oyama, 2 Kaisotsu, and the medic and the engineer. They're all finished. And this is what we're doing tonight, which is our Rat Ogre. Ta-da! I'm
waiting for the Rat Ogre to slide in because I'm on delay.
So all we've done at the moment is got him cleaned, primed, and ready to go.
Dude, I've just noticed something with the stream.
Yep.
You've got a yellow frame around the minicam. You've got a yellow frame around your camera in this particular view when we're on your minicam, but there is no yellow frame around me.
Good spot. Let me transition back.
So
Why?
we will get that fixed.
Yes. Why is that? David, camera small.
Is it because my small camera's bigger than the thing?
No, I know exactly what's happened.
You've deleted it.
No, it somehow just got hidden as a screen element in OBS. So all I had to do was click the eyeball, because obviously the frames are all separate screen elements. It's now back on. So yeah, we've discussed what we did at club. I tell you what I did notice. Obviously, Dan was a complete legend and gave me his rule book to borrow, and I had a good look at it. I mean, to give the only bit of the game I found a bit of a problem for everybody at home is Gaslands has got like quite a complex turn structure in that each player turn is broken down into individual gear phases, 1 to 6, and each vehicle activates in the gear phase if its gear that it's in is equal to or
Or
lower
higher. Higher than the current gear phase.
It activates if it's equal to or higher, as David says. So what kept throwing me off was like if you've got a vehicle that doesn't go from gear 2 to gear 3, and because you don't activate all of your vehicles and it goes like player about, it kept throwing me off because I was like going to go. At the end of the game, I completely messed things up by activating my vehicle, and I wasn't even supposed to be doing it because the gear phase had gone beyond my gear, and it was the only bit of the game that was like completely melted my brain. But I think,
and yeah, it can cope with rolls lower in Infnity, boys and girls at home.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I just need to have
Get used to
some
it.
sort of visual mark. So, like, I have an activation token, and I put it next to my vehicle to show that I've been, and then I can remove
Clear it up
it.
each gear phase.
Yeah, when the gear phase updates, it's like, okay, we'll take that away, and then I can put it down again. And once I've got the token on, I know that I can't go near the vehicle. But that was the only thing really. And the other thing is, we played a deathmatch type game, and for my first game, I don't think it was probably the best. I think I would have been better off playing the racing style game because I really, really, really like the racing style elements to it. I love the movement templates, which are a bit like X-Wing, and I love that positional play. I'm not so keen on the shooty gun bang stuff.
Gun go bang bang.
Yeah, not so keen. But I'm definitely going to play it again. Noticed a couple of rules errors while we're on the subject, reading through Dan's book. One of the things we were doing wrong was we were rolling evade tests for every attack, but you only roll evade once. So, like, if a vehicle's got like a main gun and 2 crew guns,
okay,
you roll all of them, then you roll your evade once.
Okay, that's my bad.
So, but it's interesting because it's what I said. One of my concerns was about the game being a bit killy. Effectively, it makes it more killy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're rolling less evade dice, and it makes those crew attacks even more important. But the other thing is, it specifically states in the rules that unless a scenario says otherwise, you cannot target anything but a vehicle with an attack. So you cannot attack terrain. unless the scenario specifically states you can.
Yeah, or you're driving into it, for example.
But you can't sort of like use weapons to shoot terrain out of the way or clear your way.
Yeah.
Which was something we talked about.
Yeah.
But and one other thing, when you were talking about the slide template,
Yeah.
and you said that you can change your facing.
Yeah.
You can only do that if you're sliding on a straight. If it's any kind of curve,
you got to follow the direction of travel.
You can't sort of turn around so you're facing backwards. And I guess the logic with that is if you end up sliding 90 degrees to your direction of travel, which is what happens with a slide on a straight, it's much of a muchness whether you spin left or right.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the logic. But yeah, as I say, definitely looking forward to some more games, and I'm gonna have to get some cars.
Well, it's not exactly difficult, is it?
No. So we'll be going down. We'll be going to. Where do you get most of yours, boys?
Boys, B&M, the range.
I might pop into B&M when I'm next in town. See what I can pick up.
Yeah. I don't have a problem. I only have a small fucking tote full of Gaslands cars.
How many do you actually own? Do you know? Do you even know?
Must be 50 odd.
Jesus fucking H Christ, mate.
Yeah, but what do I like? Cars. What do I like? Miniatures games. What do I own? A 3D printer. Therefore, Gaslands is the game for me. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I'd forgotten that. But the car thing is actually a thing for you as well, isn't it?
I'm just highlighting a beard with some golden olive.
I thought I'd gap-filled this model.
Clearly, you fucking lied.
But there is a huge gap in the back of his head. Forge World, why?
See, I'm just putting it out there. 3D printed teams don't come with those kinds of issues.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Speaking of 3D printed teams, Ricky is now the proud owner of 2 successful prints.
Oh, with this elf team thing.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good thing for you to go on for you to brief us on. Now, obviously, you had a massive rant.
I did have a massive rant. I did kick off on fucking Kickstarter, and Cosmodo did send me the files that they used to pre-support them.
Okay.
So I went in, did an island check, because they assured me that there was no islands remaining because they'd used Lychee. They lied. There was lots of islands still remaining. There's a wild surprise. But I already knew that. Added some more supports, and lo and behold, 2 of the 3 that I printed this morning came out perfectly fine. One of them still failed. But it failed in a completely different location, because previously, her arm came out beautiful. Her foot had fallen off. This time, her foot came out beautiful. Her arm, I thought, don't really need to add any more supports there. It came out perfect last time. Oh no, I was wrong. So, moral of the story, they're all getting fucking more supports.
Yeah, okay. Basically, the stuff that you supported and modified worked okay.
Yeah.
So it is just shit supporting. You are vindicated in your rant.
I'm glad I am vindicated in my rant, because it went on for a good half an hour.
Yeah, you did get agitated, bless you, didn't you?
Laura, you leave my orange eye go out of this. You leave my orange eye go out of this. At least you can fucking see where I am. It's not like some sort of stealth car pulls onto the drive and you don't know who the fuck it is. You at least know it's me.
Yeah, we know it's somebody who's got absolutely no fucking taste at all.
Oh, fuck you, you ginger cunt.
Oh dear, nice. It is an abortion, though, mate. Just
It's not
saying,
an abortion.
it is.
You're an...
I mean, it's fucking Satsuma.
Anyway, what are you up to, Laura? Seeing as you have the keyboard. And what more importantly, Hugh, how's that tank coming along?
What's Hugh painting? A marine tank? World War II tank?
Yes. No, Space Marine tank. I should really say that with less disgust.
Space Marine tank.
A fucking Space Marine. Speaking of which, those new thingy space doors look cool.
Oh, that's something I was gonna
Touch on
talk about
tonight.
later. Yeah, because it's getting quite depressing. Actually, I'm actually
They're eating. They're not painting or doing cool things. They're eating.
It's getting quite depressing that Games Workshop are releasing a load of really cool stuff that I want to buy. It's like the new Kill Team Into the Dark is on pre-order next week. I'm loving those two kill teams that they've resurrected and put back on pre-order again. Because I think they were originally released in the last version of Kill Team.
I don't know.
One's
I'll tell
like
you what. I've seen some new Underworlds models that I really like the look of as well.
Is that those three that Luke shared?
Chaos, yes, they are.
I mean, Jesus, they're beefy old boys, 3-man team. That's something else we'll have to have a few games of.
What, just so you can decide that you certainly don't like it?
Well, so we can try some of the newer stuff, because I've got a crap ton of newer warbands now, haven't I?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've got like the Seraphon and the vampires and
Oh, yeah, the ones
a
that I bought
hair
you in a care
load.
package, and you were like, I don't know if I'm going to build these.
Yeah, but I am, because the models are amazing.
Dark sand for a rope.
Yeah, that works.
What colours should I wash it with?
I would wash it with an Agrax, but I mean, you could go yellower,
What, Seraphim?
but you no, with the wash on the rope, because you're doing it on that tree man thing, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Radical idea.
yeah.
I could go with the green Athonian camo shade.
Actually, that would work really well because of the wet, moldy.
Because it looks like it's wet and damp.
Correct. Yeah, I like that.
Be back to you in a bit.
That could be a thing.
Well, we'll soon find out. Oh dear.
So, are you going to pick up that new Underworld's team then?
I've got the fucking thingies to pick up first. The Demon Hunters.
Oh, you're going to buy that one, are you?
I think so. I just like the minis. Speaking of cool Demon Hunter minis, there's a painting comp for Artisan Guild this month.
Is there?
Yes, there is. With a chance to win resin and or a printer. And next month's painting competition is Call of the Wild.
That club, yeah.
Yeah. There is a fucking giant, like 100mm based wolf with a massive fucking sword in his mouth.
Weird. Why's he got a sword in his mouth?
I don't quite know the lore behind it, but I think it looks fucking cool and badass, and I haven't done a big Artisan Guild mini.
Okay.
So, 2 painting comps with 1 stone.
Yeah, do it, mate. That's when it works out like that. That's perfect. When's the deadline on the Artisan Guild?
Before the deadline for club.
Okay, so what? Last week of September.
Yeah, 30th September.
I must confess that does sound cool. A giant wolf, is it holding a sword like a bone, is he?
Kind of. Bear with. Let me just touch this up. It's available on the YouTubes.
What to?
To
They've
view,
put a.
yeah. The trailer is on the YouTubes.
Oh, for the. Mm. It's interesting.
Because they allow you to look around the sculpts in 3D. Because they do them on like a revolving table.
That's cool. And do they do that with each of their releases
Yes,
every
they
month?
do. They do.
That's a nice touch.
That's why I love. Nestle Crunch.
Hmm.
Dum 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 dum. Right, I need to close all of the internets on my mobile phone. Other than that one, that was not the one I wanted to close. Bollocks.
What are you gonna do? Zap me it?
Yeah. Patreon, where are you? There you
Any
are.
ideas? I suppose Call of the Wild. What would be a good idea is if I dig out some more burrows and badgers, wouldn't it? That wouldn't be a bad thing.
Radical idea.
Yeah.
Cthulhu.
Call of the Wild. Call of the
Drowned Earth!
Weird.
No, 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 no! Drowned Earth! Drowned Earth! Drowned Earth!
God. Yeah, could do, couldn't I? Yeah, because
Now I.
haven't I got that big gorilla thing?
Yes, you have. Or the fucking elephant with the fucking HMG.
Have I got both of those?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure you have because I bought you the set, didn't I?
Are they both in the same team? Jesus, that would be yeah. Okay, you've sold me. That would be the way to go. Definitely.
It's an epic boss. It's called the Old Wolf and Fenrir.
Okay, sounds
It
very
is.
Vikingy.
Oh, fuck off, moth, you cunt! Piss off out the window, you mothy bastard.
Well,
Well, that's that. Where did you fuck off to? You flying fuck.
oh God, I don't think I've ever heard anyone lose their shit quite so fucking vocally to just the presence of a moth.
I do.
It is just a moth,
Regularly.
mate. Chill, chill, chillax.
Right, incoming on the Facebooks.
Okay.
And the wolf itself is at 2 minutes and 42 seconds. It's a really nice set. It's a really, really nice set. One of the comments on the video. Okay, as a paying customer, I am demanding that you slow down. No one can make this many amazing sets on a monthly basis without, I don't know, exploding.
The audio may go a little bit clicky, people, because it sometimes does when I open a new browser tab. So just bear with us. I do apologise. What time did you say, mate? 2 minutes
2
something.
minutes 42.
Let me see if I can get it queued up, and then I can bring it up for the people at home. Oh, here we go. Go back a bit. Back a bit. Right. Okay. So we've got it queued up. We want to go to content display, display the web browser, turn off Video Ninja. Here we go, everybody. So can we make that full screen? Does that work?
May not win.
And then we want to play. Why are you not playing? That would be handy if you could.
Because internet.
Oh no, here we go. Wow.
That's all it gets is a wow.
That is an awesome figure. I love the base.
The base
it's like the
makes it.
feature. Yeah, it's like the feature piece. Well, that's fair comment. That's awesome, mate. That's brilliant. Oh man, that is such a good miniature to enter for the paint competition. That's amazing.
He's a big boy.
So what size? Do you know what size base
100
it's on?
100 millimeter base. Ever so slightly before the preview of everything all together is a similar coloured screen with him compared to one of the 32 mm miniatures next door to him.
Okay.
The 32 mm miniature comes up to basically halfway up the ruined rock on the base.
So the sword's insanely large as well.
Mm-hmm.
I must confess, I don't really get why he's.
I think in the lore the Artisan Guild are building, it's a giant sword. Because they have done giants as feature models and stuff before.
Okay, and he's like stolen it or taken it. Okay, that makes sense. So what is he, like a Bane of Giants type thing?
Not a full clue. We will find out once stuff's released.
Interesting.
But yeah, I thought that was a pretty genius idea, and 2 paint comps for 1 mini.
Yeah, definitely, and it's such a cool mini.
Probably won't see play on the table, but
well, it's a display piece, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that'll look gorgeous in your cabinet.
Is that a euphemism or
no? I mean that in all seriousness. That little IKEA fucking
Kallax that I've got.
Kallax thing. That's the word. Yeah, that looked bloody amazing. Do you know what? I fucking hate Forge World.
Why do you hate Forge World, Paul?
Because the
should we have answers on a postcard?
The resins are so fucking gappy. Jesus fuck. It's like
you wash your dirty mouth out because look at those Strigoi.
Well, yeah, they're bad as well, but
can we just throw it out there that resin is an inappropriate material?
Resin's awful. You quite like resin, don't you, for miniatures?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I did until I dropped it all, remember? Because even my TT Combat resin was like, okay.
Do you know what I did think?
What?
Do you remember me? Did you remember me sending you that link for that Eons of Battle video where they went on about that resin brand?
No.
With that massive flexibility. Do you remember it?
Syria Tech or whatever it was.
That's it. You do remember. Did you ever check it out?
No, I didn't.
Oh. No point asking you what your expert opinion is then.
Well, again, I wouldn't like to form opinions of something until I've tried it.
That's fair. But
this is an informative YouTube channel.
I don't know. To be fair, you probably find I don't know if it's available outside of the US or.
Oh no, Syria Tech is available because I can buy it on Amazon and stuff.
Oh, okay. So you've seen it.
Yeah, I have seen it. I've just always passed it by because I've got my Elegoo ABS-like resin and I'm happy with it. I'm not in the market for another resin at the moment.
Okay, it was just that the flexibility they showed off, I thought, given what happened with your model bouncing incident,
Yeah, but
it might appeal to you as something that's a bit more robust and less likely to shatter into 1,000 pieces when you play basketball with them.
But I don't play basketball with them often.
I refer everybody back to the stream the week before last where you elbowed the same miniature off your desk 3 times.
I can't even deny that because it's caught on camera.
Uh-huh.
Who put 50 pence in the cunt?
See? Ah, dear. I'll tell you what, mate.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, what?
I'm not bragging about finishing an army when I've not finished an army.
Oh, shut up. I'll tell you what I was thinking as well. Bolt action's going to have to be a thing, isn't it? When are we going to throw down that?
Oh, Tim was here. Are you still here, Tim?
I think Tim posted last week, didn't he?
Tim, new plan. Love it.
Yeah, I think that was I think that's a comment from last week.
What, because you just reorganised last week's stream?
Because we rescheduled. I haven't seen Tim or Jerry this week, so I'm assuming
this is what I mean. No Ricky either. Ricky's probably up to his eyeballs in fucking paint and priming his Blood Bowl minis.
Yeah, bless him.
I did try and peer pressure him into entering the painting comp.
To be fair, he could have got the whole bloody team done by Monday, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's if he had the whole team printed. And what am I notoriously awful at?
Oops. Yeah, that's the thing.
Printing minis for people, because even Trevor had a go.
Why? Are you doing a commission for Trevor?
Yeah, Frostgrave minis.
Oh, makes sense, to be fair. You take on too much, mate. That's your problem. That's your problem.
Don't know when to say no.
No, that is definitely a thing.
Worst problems to have. Oh, dear. Now, barnacles.
Same to you.
What colour would they be?
A dark brown green.
Yeah, I've already got dark brown all over the fucking tree man, Paul.
Well, you could go grey. I mean, any really dark colour will work.
What about green grey?
Yeah, that would be a very good one.
Then highlight with what?
Well, how are you highlighting your wood? What highlight colour are you adding there?
Wood's highlighted.
Yeah, and what did you use? Did you go tan
I don't know.
or
I've
pale
been to
wood?
sleep. I've been to.
Hey, come on! You brag that you can remember the technique for everything.
Yeah, but I've been asleep multiple times. Right, go down to minicam and then you might be able to help me.
Okay. Minicam, everybody. Bam,
bam.
David's minicam, Paul, not your minicam.
Dan's here.
Okay.
Dan's here.
Hello, Dan. Right. So. Okay.
I went up to a form of brown.
Yeah. You've kept it quite brown, so that's fine.
But again, I think I kept it quite dark because I wanted it to look wet.
Yep.
Hence, again, the specular highlights on the Kelpie beard going into that olive yellow green now to be like spot highlights.
And you're doing green. We're talking about green grey, which is
I mean, I've got these barnacles here, these ropes to paint, this bit of like off the boat that's a different colour, but I might just sponge that on so it's like a chipped paint effect. Obviously, all the ropes have got the starfish to highlight. Don't know what to do about this barrel. If this barrel should be a different colour. And then on this boy over here, I've got, again, similar plate work. I've got a anchor to paint because he's a wanker with an anchor. And then barnacles, but then I also have this toadstool to paint.
Well, you could paint your fungus the same as your barnacles, couldn't you?
I'm thinking of going
too many colours.
I'm thinking, right, and hear me out on this. Where's my Blood Bowl team disappear to? I'm thinking to add red to the fungus.
Yeah.
Because then he will tie in with the team.
Good call. Those sort of shell fungi are often yellows and tans in real life, but it is a fancy miniature. And like you say, that red will tie it in with some of the other colour elements in the team. So that's
then I was thinking of blue stippled or sponged on paint on this wood effect here.
Again, ties in with the blue.
To tie him in with the team.
Good call.
I don't know whether to go the same white on these trousers as on his strappings.
Yeah, that's a good call. Again.
And then obviously the green grey for the barnacles and
suggestion of khaki to highlight your green grey.
Oh, that is actually quite a good shout, sir.
Just having a quick look at my paint rack there. That looks.
Now the only problem is my khaki isn't with my other paints because my khaki is already squirreled away for the next project.
Is it part of your bolt action?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Fair.
So, because once Infnity is done, it's on to the next thing.
Is it? It's just paint comp that's interrupted your Infnity flow. Is it? You're going to go straight back?
Yeah.
To it?
Yeah, because I am not a million miles off finishing. It's all just detail work now because the white's all done and finito.
Yeah, your primary colours, your blue and your white, are both done.
I'm still on minicam, aren't I?
You are, sir. Yes, which is a good point because I've completely forgotten.
No, leave me on. Second. That's Yujing. Oh, fuck. Didn't mean to pull the miniature over. Because this is where we're up to on Infnity.
Yep.
All the white is done.
Okay.
The blue is done. So obviously now it's armor, weapons, details. The only one I think I've got to do a bit more highlighting on is this boy.
What, just to make that cloak, give it highlights a bit more height?
Yep.
That's fair. It's a large area, isn't it?
Yeah, because the Infirmier as well, similarly, his robe at the front just needs a few more highlights.
Just realised I don't remember how I...
Sorry for the auto-focusing sickness at home that we just had.
I don't...
But yeah, all of my Fusiliers are done. Focus, up here. I'm up here. And then obviously I've got face details to paint over bits and pieces, so... Yeah, that's a thing. They went on holiday with me, they never got done. This Blood Bowl team got took on holiday with me, that never got done. But I did get some bolt action built, so swings and roundabouts.
You got something done. I'd be interested to see what you do with the skin tones.
What, on the British?
On those Yujing.
Not Yujing, Pano.
Pano, rather.
Get the faction right. You're meant to play Infnity.
Have you got any recipe or plan?
Of course, Caucasian. That's it.
Are you just going to do your stock?
Yep.
Your stock recipe.
Yeah, which is actually quite similar to my halflings.
Okay, fair.
Well, my halflings are like Caucasian but semi-tanned.
Okay. Yeah, which you don't really want for your winter army, I guess.
Well, it doesn't make no shit difference, does it? Just because they're fighting in the middle of winter doesn't mean that they've actually come from the winter planet.
Well, you don't know how they might have been on the old ice world for a while.
They could be on fucking tanning beds for all you know, you discriminatory person.
True, I guess. This is the far future. Think of a tanning salon down at base camp.
Exactly. For just those occasions where you need to get your tan on.
I've realised while you were talking about your pano that I haven't got painted the actual rest of my Skaven team so long ago.
What were the?
I can
These were.
barely remember how I painted the team.
These were Dektan Agrax, Dektan Ivory.
What's that? Those halfling skin.
Yeah. No, not halfling skin.
Oh, the
halfling trousers.
strappings.
Trousers.
Yeah. And I remember it definitely had deck tan in it.
Yeah, because I was on a Dektan rave.
That hardly narrows the field. Which things did David paint with deck tan in? How long have you got?
Everything. All of the things. So that is a thing. Right. If one is to sponge wood, one needs a sponge.
That's not a technique I've used in ages, sponging, you know.
I'm going to have to sponge later. I can't sponge later, though, because the fucking straps are over the top. Oh. God damn it! Right, for those at home might be able to see this or not. I think this sponge is a little bit dirty to be using as a sponging sponge. This is a white makeup sponge. Your eyes do deceive you. This is in actual fact white.
You're joking.
That's a white makeup.
That looks
That's
like
a white.
grey packing.
That's a white. That's a white makeup sponge. Because
Dude,
if I tear it,
yes.
Let me come in to focus on. Look at that. It's got a white centre.
Yeah, you've got your value out of that. Jesus, boy.
That is my airbrush cleaning sponge.
Okay.
To go over the tip of my nozzle because I have a nasty tendency to poke holes in my finger.
So what do you do? Just to catch spray when you?
Yeah, I literally just do it to cover the end backwash. Now, I don't know if this is open enough for me to use as a sponge to sponge with.
Why am I not using my painting handle?
Because it's a GW painting handle, and therefore
it does actually fit. I was just about to. You were ahead of me because I was just about to say, I bet this miniature don't fit, but actually, just about. He's in there.
Laura, leave. I'm getting roasted from multiple angles, and I'm not enjoying it.
Whoa! That's awesome. Nice one, Laura. To be fair, oh my god. Have you told Laura all the things that you've lost? The number of live streams. You should go back and check our back catalogue. The number of times we've got David off in the distance, banging and crashing, hunting for stuff. Oh my Christ, it's hysterical.
Yeah,
but you lost your brushes once, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Lost fucking brushes. Oh, mate, you're priceless. Still, to be fair, everybody's got your number, so, you know, that's fine. What is that supposed to be?
My room is tidy anyway. It's tidy for me, and that's what matters.
Yeah, is that like a relativistic thing? tidy
Uh,
compared to?
I wouldn't even say it's a relativistic thing. It's just not tidy. It's a
So
lie. I tell
actually, that was
myself.
just a complete lie, essentially. what we
Yeah.
just said. That's
Yeah.
just not true.
Right. I need to find a piece of tissue paper. Bear with me. Three, two, one. I'm back in the room.
Congratulations. Have you seen anything cool on YouTube in the last few days? Anything that...
Not particularly. I've seen some cool stuff on Kickstarter, but then that's because I'm a Kickstarter tart.
Have you been spending a lot
Yeah.
of time on there checking stuff out?
Yes, I have been.
To be fair, I've not seen anything while on Kickstarter. You shared me that project earlier, which we'll have a talk about. We must be coming up for 9 o'clock, actually.
We are at 9 o'clock, sir.
Oh, excellent. So what should we do with the blisters?
Hang on.
What should we do
Hang
with the
on.
blisters in this rat's leg? Should we paint them as some sort of sores or ulcers, or should we fill them? Ah, Forge World, Forge World, Forge World. Why do you do it?
Right, boys and girls at home and Paul.
Garth,
Minicam!
just let me finish painting this leg. Because I want to get all the paint on so it can dry. So then I can go back in with the putty and fill all the holes. Because that's cool.
Let me find my fucking tweezers, because I'm about to end up with very blue fingers.
God's sake. That is ridiculous. Right. Minicam.
Yeah, go to Minicam, sir. What do we think?
I don't have your minicam.
Yes,
I
reload.
would do, but I do not have it. I cannot. I don't know if that's Hugh or Laura was going to say prove it.
No!
Are you resetting?
It's a
Yes,
reset, sir.
you've done. Whatever you did worked brilliantly. Here we go. Oh, I like that blue. Yeah.
Too much? Too little? Just
that's
enough?
just your base coat, isn't it?
Yeah, then I'm going to probably stipple on or chip on a highlight colour, but the other thing I wanted to do is leave, and it doesn't come up particularly well because it's a bit glary, but leave some areas with the base wood showing.
Yeah, you can just see it. I mean, it's not the most visible. But to be fair, when you get your highlights on, that creates contrast and it should show up.
I'm hoping.
I mean, I would go quite pale with my highlight because when paint gets that old, chipped, faded look, you don't have the intensity of the colour generally, do you?
No, I'm going to go into Faded Ultramarine, which is another Pro Acryl colour you gave me, because this is Pro Acryl at the moment.
Okay.
And then go into...
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done for now.
Go, so, yep.
I'm just trying to...
Yeah, no, that blue looks great. I mean, to be fair, those trees are really going to come to life with all the different colours on them.
I'm just trying to stipple on without getting it already over the completed part, which is quite a challenge.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've really made that job a bit hard there, because stippling is not
but
the most surgical technique.
Dry brushing is not a brilliant technique either.
No, neither of them surgically.
This is what I mean.
Precise.
Both techniques that have gone onto this miniature are not precise.
Okay. give up on this because that hole is going to need filling with filler.
You got some Vallejo plastic putty?
Yeah, I have.
For fuck's sake. That's better. Chip onto the edges.
To be fair, I don't know if you've
Hang on, sir.
used it much, but what I've started doing is I've added it to my wet palette.
Does it stay nice and hydrated?
It stays pretty good consistency wise, because obviously, I mean, it gets a bit thin after an hour or so, but you can effectively just paint it on. And I only use cheap, crappy brushes most of the time anyway, so I don't even need to worry too much about accidentally putting my sable in it on autopilot. But
What, because you think it's white paint?
yeah, well, you know what it's like. Sometimes when you're in the
Bollocks!
middle of something, you just sort of like switch off. But
Yeah, like I just did, putting my my sponge into paint, and then putting it straight on the miniature before I'd even removed any. So you can imagine how that looks right now.
yeah, that's probably not gone well.
But luckily, it's the base coat. Trying to fucking balance. Why did I decide to use the world's most aggressive tweezers that are ripping holes in it?
What's this, you sponge?
Yeah.
You're literally tearing it apart.
Oh dear.
Right.
It's really not working.
What, the stippling?
No, the fucking trying to get into. I love Punga for sculpting these because they are absolutely gorgeous and characterful. But maybe next time allow some techniques that people might want to explore to work, like using fucking sponges to paint a miniature. Right. Oh, have I missed any paneling on him? No, I haven't.
What do you mean allow people to use sponging? How would they have any input on that?
Designing the panels so that they aren't hidden behind every other bastarding thing on the model.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Consider your audience and painting techniques.
I mean, yeah. It might look a bit weird though if things are just randomly layered differently to how they would be in
Just
real life. Just
stop.
I want to stipple paint his pants, so he's wearing them on the outside then. Okay, fine.
Leave me alone. I'm being bullied.
It's a bit random. I don't know.
Can I get
What am I going to
that
paint
kind?
this rat ogre's straps and things?
That's not really the colour I wanted. I wanted like a 50-50 mix.
What a mess.
That's
I
better.
can't even tell what half of that is.
Now, there is a slight problem with going with a 50-50 mix. Gonna have to mix some more in a minute. That works.
He's got a hole in his knee as well. Quickly losing my patience for this.
That does surprise me. So I thought you had all the time in the world for GW minis.
Nope. Not even a little bit. Talking of which, that's a massive hole in his.
That's what she said. I mean, slightly concerning that she did say that.
Oh my god.
What?
PG. Right.
We don't do PG streams around these parts. Let's be brutally
That
honest.
is true. How naive
And if we,
of me. Right.
and if we did
Do you know
do
what?
PG streams, I would civilly suggest that all under 18s turn your TVs off right now.
Yeah. Go and find something less offensive to do.
We're not offensive. We're just opinionated.
Jesus. This is not a good sculpt, GW. I don't know how much money I spent on it, but it was not worth it.
It was about 25 quid.
It's a shocking model. Absolutely shocking.
I'm going to have to go even higher with my highlights.
Right. That'll do as a base coat for that skin.
That'll do, Donkey. That'll do.
So
what have you done as a base coat for your skin for all the girls and boys at home that want to?
We've got basically it's primed army painter leather brown, and then we've given it a good generous coat of Vallejo cork brown.
A rat ogre skin.
Yep. And then what we're going to do is go back in with our. Well, do you know what? We might go back in because I haven't had a chance to use them much yet. We might go back in with one of these game washes. So the game wash flesh wash looks really interesting because it's very red. It's a very red brown colour. And I think this could be quite interesting.
Right, Paul.
Yeah.
In a second, I will require minicam.
Okie dokie.
Just going for my ultra highlights, which I'm contemplating just dry brushing on. It's an army paint, so the coverage will be fucking dog shit. Sorry, army painter, but it's true. One thing I can rely on is your paint not to cover.
I think I need to do most of the armor and stuff as purple.
Yeah, well, that's the colour you went with.
Yeah, it was like a purple with a gold trim, wasn't it? That I did.
Don't know. You not got the other minis to hand?
No, I haven't. I may have to dodge out when you go to minicam and you're showing the people all of your what it is that you're showing them.
Well, I just need to wash my.
Nip upstairs and get the box. So I've got a reference mini. Because the other thing is I can't remember if I did the strapping and the what have you a particular colour on the rest of the
strap on a particular colour?
You know, all the little leather, I say leather, whatever, armour panel straps and stuff. Because obviously I could go brown, but sometimes you just fancy varying things up, don't you? Any suggestions in chat for colours? Let me see if I can bring up my camera here. So here we go. So if we transition here, so like where's a good example? Like this on his hand, you've got this sort of armor panel here, and then he's got like a thong that goes round under his hand. And again, like he's got this like fabric skirt, which I'll obviously paint purple probably to in the team colours. But then he's got this massive wide belt. The armor panels that are hanging off it, purple of course. But I don't know. Do I just sort of leave it brown and lean into that leather look, or what do you think? Can we do something a little bit more off the wall, a little bit more exotic? What complements purple?
Orange.
Yeah, that would be insane, though, wouldn't it? That would be super poppy. Is that
No, not if you paint it in a subtle way. There's orange brown.
Do you know what? I was just gonna say that we could go with the orange thing, but actually keep it in the brown palette, couldn't we? So, for example, a red leather, maybe even with a touch of a dark orange like amaranth red added to it, just to make it even more orangey. That's not a bad idea.
My dry brush is kind of dry. Let me just dry it out on my trousers.
That is kind of a good idea.
Is it? It's almost as if I paint miniatures, sir, isn't it?
It's almost as if you've done it before.
I think this was as high as I went with my highlight previously. Yes, it was. Well, that's good to know.
Have you managed to match to what you've done before?
Yeah, the highlight colour's US Field Drab.
For the wood?
Yes.
Write it down.
Don't need to write it down.
Oh, what? Because Nave said it on the internet.
Exactly! This is what the internet is for!
Don't need to write it down. I just need to go back and watch the live stream where I painted it. Good call.
Yeah, when 3/4 of your YouTube views are actually yourself rewatching the stream to find out how you painted something.
So, don't!
Whoopsie!
Homer Simpson moment. Don't!
I've managed to touch up his head where he was all chipped and broken. Under his arms, and there we go. Easy. Right. You ready for running off to find things in a second then, sir?
I will be in just a second, mate.
Let me just work some water into my dry brush so that I can beat my paint out of it. There we go. Happy days. Right. Let me share my camera and go to the back facing camera. Is that the right one? That kind of looks like the right one.
I'm waiting for your video ninja to come up and then I shall transition. Yep, you're good. Here we go, everybody.
We're good to go. Look at that.
Ooh, that looks good. Right, I'm off quickly to get these scaven.
So that's 2 pro acrylic paints and then a highlight. So it's base coated with pro acrylic blue, goes into pro acrylic faded ultramarine, and is then highlighted with Ice Storm from Army Painter. Nice little triad we got going on there. But we've stippled it on just so that we've got some darker recesses, the lighter recesses, and everything else. I have also tried to get the ends of the planks, like that he's ripped them off a ship and then painted them blue afterwards to match the team.
Rather than showing the wood.
Yeah, admittedly, it is a little shade or two lighter than the team. But my argument is these treatmen have been playing for hundreds of years, and it's faded.
Yeah.
In the sun. And that's how paint goes. So that's what we're doing. We're then going to go in and deck tan all these strappings. We're going to... What's it called? Green grey, the barnacles that are absolutely everywhere. I don't know about this barrel on his arm, Paul. Do you reckon it should be a different colour? Or do you reckon it should be the same?
I personally would do it a different colour.
Because it's not the same part as like him or the boat, is
Yeah,
it?
and I would do it just to draw our attention to it and make it look a distinctly separate part of the model, to be fair.
The other thing I'm contemplating doing is glossing his beard at the end.
Yeah, for that wet seaweed look.
Yep.
That's fair.
But that'll be once he's based and everything else and sorted. I've got the starter. I can highlight as well, yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. We can come off minicam now, but I think
Awesome.
they're looking quite good.
I had forgotten that I've already put loads of black on these other Skaven.
Black?
They're
Black?
so like, I've done a lot of fabric accents with black. So it's black, gold, and purple.
Oh, God. Now, where would I have put deck tan?
I'm surprised it's not on your desk. It must have only been about 10 minutes since you last used it.
If you were deck tan, where would you hide? Because I did start having a system and putting them all in number order, and then I got bored of that shit and gave up. Because I'd have been there all day. That's stone grey. There you are! Deck tan. Now, the only other colour I need to find is ivory, which should be... There it is! Fucking hell, the system's working.
Dum, dum, dum.
Shock horror. Yeah, so... I'm pushing the boat out because I've got 2 big guys to finish for paint and comp, whereas you've only got 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have twice as much work to do as you.
I don't know. What to say with painting these guys.
I still say fuck it and do your cape orangey brown. Referee, it needs a repaint.
I'll tell you what, these bloody other Skavens do. They're ropey as hell. This must have been a rush job.
It was because you were beating me for paint and comp because it was for when that league was, and
Is that
we
what it
both,
was?
yeah, we both absolutely slammed it down, didn't we?
I can't remember, mate. You got a good memory for that.
Yeah, because you had a go at me because I hadn't highlighted the tails to the same degree that you had, and I told you to go F yourself because I'd actually highlighted all of the armour and cape and everything else.
Which I hadn't done.
No, you just dipped them in fucking quick shade like a heathen. No, but now you're more local. It also means we get to game outside of club.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said to you about popping over sometime. You can have a bite to eat, check the place out, find out where we are, and we'll have to make a plan to get together and game. As I say, we don't need to restrict it to once a week. I know you've got, other family commitments and stuff to juggle, but I'm sure we can sort something out.
Well, again,
oh, why did I not keep a painting diary back here?
When I get my own place, it's Ricky and you and board game nights and other stuff and
that's a good point. We could maybe start an Arkham campaign.
Oh, I know who would be well up for an Arkham LCG campaign, and I don't know if he's still here or not, but Dan.
Oh, right.
Because Dan's feedback on your write-up and said that he wanted to try it and stuff.
Okay. Sounds cool. The more the merrier. We'll have to sort
We'll just
something out then.
bundle in a car, head round yours. Happy days.
Yep. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy to organise. Right.
Yeah, it's not like herding cats.
Right. Let's just start slapping some paint. In fact, what's the time? It's 25.
Yeah, we should probably talk about things because it's 25 past. What's it called?
9. Oh.
That's German cam dark green. That's German uniform. That's yellow olive. That's olive green. If you were green grey, where would you hide?
Oh, mate. Laura, tell him. Sort his fucking shit out.
See you, Crispin. Have a good weekend, Chuck. What? And got golden olive. If you were green grey, where would you hide? That's green sky. What number is green grey, Paul?
101.
Okay. That's 76. It's 160. Is green grey called for on my action? Oh, let me move my laptop and find out.
It is quite a common colour for military schemes, so I wouldn't be too surprised.
They even do a British Airborne paint set, Warlord do, which is the Vallejo colours.
Okay.
But I've seen on the internet a load of people recommending to use Middlestone, not khaki grey.
Yeah, you do get. It's surprisingly varied, actually, the opinions on the correct, in bunny ears,
Tone.
colours to use for.
I found green grey. It was loitering with the other things, as was khaki.
Fine.
And green grey is actually lighter than khaki. You orangutan. How can I highlight something with a darker colour?
I see my green grey is very dark.
Well.
Tell you what was quite interesting.
Oh, Hugh's built his tank. Hugh has built his tank.
It's all finished, is it?
Yeah, it's a Predator. Just come down to minicam.
He's going to stick it in.
No, I'm not going to stick it down. Just come down to my minicam.
Yep.
Khaki. Green grey.
Yep.
Green grey is lighter than khaki.
Not mine.
Are you sure yours is green grey?
Well, yes. Green grey 101. Because the other interesting thing was, remember we were talking last week about.
Now, what about that as a colour pair? German field grey World War II with green grey highlights.
I would say they're too close, but you like subtle contrast, so it could work.
I do like subtle. I don't do sledgehammer. Oh, hello, policeman.
We were talking about intermediate.
Couldn't come off the minicam now, Bach.
Intermediate blue and the Luftwaffe.
Yeah.
And you said about using Luftwaffe to highlight medium blue or intermediate blue.
Yeah.
Well, when I put it on, Luftwaffe was a lot lighter. So then I had to repaint it. No, it was a lot darker. So then I had to reverse it. Intermediate blue was the highlight for the Luftwaffe.
Okay, I didn't know this because in my bottles, my Luftwaffe looked like my intermediate.
No, but what made me think of it was the conversation we've just sort of had about the green grey, because I'm going by the painted bottle lids, not by what it looks like in the bottle.
See, I always go by what it's like in the bottle because I'm a heathen. I don't have time to paint lids.
Well, no, because we've commented before how that can be an issue with the Vallejo paints, can't it?
Yes,
Where
it is a
they
massive issue.
they don't
Represent!
they don't actually look anything like the bottle shade when they're dry. But yeah, so I'll be interested to see how you get on. While we talk, you can paint some of that, see if the colours are
Well,
correct.
I'm doing strapping for now
Oh, okay.
because the straps are slightly easier to get to than all the barnacles. To be fair, it shouldn't take me too long to do the straps.
So let's go to. So yes, normally we've got 30 minutes left. Let's talk about some other stuff. So normally we're sort of famously not massive GW fanboys, are we, mate? When it
Then smaller niche games.
we
Yes,
have
massive fanboys.
we have mixed views on Games Workshop generally.
Kill Team, you love. I've not played any yet, which again you need to introduce me to.
I have enjoyed it a lot.
Blood Bowl, we quite like.
Yes, Blood Bowl I like
when
a lot.
it's played in a narrative sense, not a
I just find
league.
I just find with League winners keep winning and losers keep losing, and it's a bit it's
one-sided.
It collapses under its own weight quite quickly, but it's not bad.
Underworlds.
Underworlds is good.
The minis are gorgeous.
Minis,
it's just
some of
you're
the
not
best
a fan of the. Not a fan of the rules and the power creep.
I think some of when you play war bands that are separated by like 2 years of release schedules, it shows because their balance is just completely shot. But then again, they run the rotation format specifically because they don't want the work of balancing stuff, do they?
No.
So it is sort of predictable, but unfortunately,
again, it's like Magic in that regards. It's a problem for 2 years, and then we'll come around to it and fix it.
The rotation with standard, they do exactly the same thing, just to keep the amount of assets they've got to juggle and keep in the air manageable, and they let the broader, shall we say, eternal formats just sort of look after themselves. But yeah, unfortunately, the more I see of it, the more I like the look of the Leagues of Votann stuff. I'm loath to say it, and obviously we've had this. They've been pumping out stuff with the Nova Open, and we've just had an announcement about what's going to be in the army box when it gets released. But we've got the Hekaton Land Fortress, the first big vehicle. I'm not mad keen on this, to be fair, out of all the things they've released. But it's fucking huge, man. It's a monstrous piece of plastic.
Oh, I'm getting text messages.
What? Stop showing stuff because it's.
Yeah, stop showing off the shiny new Warhammer shit because that's what Hugh does. Sorry, Laura.
Is Hugh interested in the Votann, the Leagues of Votann?
Come on, Hugh. Opinions.
What do you think to the? Because I shouldn't think. I don't know how old you are, Hugh. If you're David's age,
same age, literally the same age as me, mate.
Yeah, you won't remember the squats from the first time around. But I mean, these models are just banging, and the chances are I'm now gonna have to collect a 40k army for the first time in
4 years, 5 years.
Well, I collected my Necrons during 7th. How long ago is that?
5 minutes, isn't it?
Because
I'll start.
I honestly haven't bought any 40k for, it must be 6 years.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
But I'm going to have some of these guys. These, in the old squats, you used to have the guild masters. I think they were called guild masters. And there were these guys in the long leather trench coats who were basically their engineers. And they've brought these models out to sort of fit with that aesthetic.
To pay homage.
Iron Masters, I think they're called now. But oh my god, it's awesome. This is something else I'm not keen on. I sort of understand why, but what does everybody else think in chat? They've gone this way of getting rid of flight stands and having the models supported by all,
The
improbable
terrain.
improbable random pieces of terrain. I think this looks worse because it's so contrived and
also
stupid.
only fits their setting and ruins any like basing options.
I mean, not only that, you've got a unit of 3 guys, 3 of these hovering droid things. Oh, that was lucky. Each of them just happened to be floating over a piece of debris that was angled at 45 degrees and about 3 foot long. That was lucky. It's just like, no.
Counter argument: how many times did you break your clear flying stand?
Yeah, but then again, I'll be honest, I'd sooner have, and I'm saying it now, I think I'm going to be mounting these on jeweler's wire. Just brass wire. I prefer the look. This fucking contrived balancing on a piece of fortuitous scenery doesn't do it for me at all.
I mean, again, they tried doing it with some of the tower models when they updated them in 7th and 8th. It's like, no.
What do you prefer? I mean, here we go. If we scroll down a bit further to this character Grimnir, his servant drones or whatever these things are, they've got the sort of weird curved ones. They use these for a marine model, didn't they?
Yeah, the intercessors,
Yeah.
or whatever they are.
What do you think? Do you prefer this natural blended look, or do you just say fuck it, go with a flight stand? It is what it is.
See, I like both, but for differing reasons.
Right.
And the main reason I would prefer the clear flight stands is so that I could do the clear flight stands, and then if I wanted to mount them across a piece of terrain that matches my scenery, I can do that myself,
And
and
do
I
it
can
as a
choose the
conversion.
pose and the height and everything
Yeah.
else. Because again, look at my orc army.
Yes.
I've cut bits and pieces off, like the Iron Jaws mega bosses on a rock.
Yes.
I cut the rock off, and then I've replaced that with my own bark chipping rock.
Okay. To make it blend.
Yeah.
Talking of standing on a rock, what the fuck is going on with this bloke's leg?
I can't see. You're going to have to blow it up.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. What is going on with this base? It looks like that piece of rock is stuck to his foot and it's floating. It must just be a dodgy photograph angle.
Either that, or it's part of like his levitation gear.
Yeah, but it looks crap. If that's the case, I don't really get it. But I mean, look at this. These models look so fucking amazing. It's funny actually because a lot of people have said what we've seen so far looks a bit sterile, looks a bit characterless. It's not one thing or another. It's a bit random and all over the place. But you look at these character models now. Jesus Christ, these are amazing.
Yeah, they are gorgeous.
And I'm just gonna have some, even though it's going to be really expensive.
Yeah, Yeah, but that's why you go to the likes of Goblin.
Yeah, but even from these third, so this is going to be the army box set. We've got 20 sort of stock guys. I think it's the same 10 guys repeated twice. And then we've got these two characters and 3 of the floaty bike trike things.
Floaty bike trikes.
In fact, I'm wrong there, aren't I? Because I think, unless these are just hand swaps, because I'm looking at this guy with this plasma sword, he's not duplicated anywhere else in this group, is he?
No.
So I wonder if they are 20 unique models. Can you tell, mate, whether they're
I
just...
can't tell from the picture on my screen miles away from me.
No. Okay, that's interesting. So this is something that is going to cost me a huge amount of money. I don't know. What do you reckon for a 40k army now, mate? Autumn. Codex is out.
Well, that narrows it down a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be sometime in the next 2 months, isn't it? Pretty much
Yeah.
guaranteed. What do you reckon for a 40k army nowadays? Even if I only build to 1,000 points, what do you reckon? 500? Probably.
Maybe less than that because it might be a start collecting box
Well,
deal.
yeah, I mean, they've shown the army box. I suppose we don't know how many points the army box will be. I might be able to get
And
away with just buying the army box and then something like that huge Hecatomb tank thing.
yeah, like you say, literally army box and a couple of minis, and then we're good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's been a very long time since I've been that excited about anything for 40k. And I'm looking
Sorry,
forward
Laura.
to it. The other thing is this. This is going to be an expensive September. I'm really loving the look of the Into the Dark terrain. This whole idea of exploring a Space Hulk and getting a load of plastic Space Hulk terrain, or a load of plastic terrain with which you can game inside a Space Hulk or a floating Hulk. And as I said earlier, they've re-released. I haven't actually got them here in this article, but they've re-released 2 old kill teams from the earlier incarnation of Kill Team, with a updated rules for the new version. One's a Nurgle one, and I think the other one is some sort of Inquisitor thing.
Yeah,
And the models are just amazing. The Inquisitor one is running what looks like a Doberman Pinscher as one
yeah,
of its models, which for me is like bang sold. And the other one, the Nurgle one, looks really weird because there's like just tons of lots of little insecty things and clouds of flies, and I don't know how the hell it's going to play on the table. But it looks amazing. And then they've printed the annual, which is going to have, I believe, the rules for those 2 kill teams and all of the ones that were published in White Dwarf. So it's all going to be collated into one place. So it's like,
very un-GW.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, give me, yeah, here, take my money.
Counterpoint: they've already taken people's money who bought the White Dwarves, though.
Yeah, that is true. But I just want, I can't cope with this. I need Games Workshop to go back to form. I need them to go back to releasing
Watching something.
overpriced recycled shit that I look at and go, whatever. Because this is
Yeah,
going
because
to
again,
end up...
even the Amazon kill team, when we were discussing this the other week, you were like, "Yeah, no, this is really nice. This looks really nice."
I've seen people previewing these new kill teams on YouTube, but I couldn't find an article here on the Warhammer community site, which showed off the ones that they're
Didn't
re-releasing.
OnTabletop do it?
Yes, they did. I'm sure somebody did, but I'd say I couldn't find it here on Warhammer community. But yeah, it's just nuts, man. It's going to cost me so much money. And I was supposed to be having a cheap year where I didn't spend a lot and got all of my old stuff painted. It's depressing.
You got an Infinity Army painted though. Oh, wait a minute.
That's true. Right. So that's me finished fanboying out about Games Workshop. Just, completely out of character. I've moved
Have you
house
had your
400 miles and I've now
have you had
become a
your
completely different person.
have you had your temperature check lately?
Mate, I think it's a bit more serious than a fever. I've lost my fucking mind. Anyway, this was something that you pulled up for us, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now this
so
is it's like a
Uluk
yep.
or Uluk even.
However you're supposed to pronounce.
Fuck knows. I backed Star Scrappers Battle Drill. We've spoken about it in other streams. The minis are gorgeous. Spoke about it literally in the last stream about good 3 pre-supported minis. The game studio, Hexy Studio, that produces Star Scrappers and other bits and pieces, also produces this, which is heading to Kickstarter. From what I can see, it is very similar for Everdell, for those that know how Everdell plays out. So it's a resource management building game.
There are
Over 6 turns
down
with cool anthropomorphic animals, and the all-in set is not that bad a price.
Here's the board for everybody. Yeah, the way they describe it on the Kickstarter, it is what you say. Basically, you're trying to grow your village by getting resources, and then you can worship these totems or gods, and essentially you just the person who wins the game wins by having more points, and it says more happy villagers.
Yeah.
So there's loads of essentially you've got to have lots of villagers, you've got to have a good happiness rate,
food, feeding them, yeah,
in game. So it looks quite a sophisticated little board game. Some great looking components. I think these monuments are like a basic thing, aren't they, mate? And then you get
and you can get a Kickstarter exclusive version.
These resiny ones, I think, are an upgrade that you can
they are.
for. But yeah, it does look really interesting. It's one of those. It's like I said to David. It's one of those sort of games that if I played it, I'd probably really enjoy it. But it's not
jumping out at the same level as Everdell does. You've got to buy it.
Yeah, I think it's what you're saying. The fact that I do own Everdell, which is a worker placement
resource management game.
It's a resource management, worker placement, montage building game. Not montage. What's the word I'm looking for?
City.
No, when you have that tableau building game. That's the phrase I was looking for. Because it is that. I already own one that's anthropomorphic animal themed as well. I'm not sure that I'm tripping over
wanting
to
spend your money to
one.
Yeah.
But having said that, I might play somebody else's because it is going to retail, isn't it?
Yes, it is going to retail after.
Because I mean, one thing that is quite good. I mean, we ranted about this a few months ago about Kickstarters not succeeding unless there are 10,000 stretch goals and all the extras, blah blah blah. these guys in the blurb right at the beginning say there are no stretch goals. You've got the core game, and then you can go for a few optional upgrades. There's 2 expansions, I think.
Kickstarter exclusive monuments, the resin monuments, but
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. The Kickstarter exclusive monument set. But that's it. And they say, well, why come to Kickstarter? And they go into it, and they funded. So maybe people are sort of like coming round to the idea that if somebody offers you good value for money with a great product, that's enough.
Yeah.
You don't have to have.
I mean, the other thing is later down in their campaign blurb, they go on about this design studio has done stuff for the Witcher games. It's done stuff for several of their own IPs.
That's true. These guys are established as well. They've run multiple Kickstarters before, so yeah, that's a factor, isn't it, mate?
They know what they're doing, and people know what they're getting.
Plus the fact, thinking about it, if you think about, but there's been a couple of Kickstarters recently where they have gone with that 10,000 stretch goal. When you
King and Country had 66 stretch goals.
Yeah, but that was a digital deliverable. I was thinking more of Simon's Marvel Zombicide.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Where they had a massive scandal. I mean, basically, they're delivering you like your entire body weight in product, but then they wanted like 4 or 5 times the shipping, and
Yeah.
people lost their fucking minds because of the shipping expenses were just out of this world. So maybe, people have realised that, times are changing, and the days where you got a massive amount of shit for free are gone. Not only that, to be fair, I'm sure if we looked at it objectively, if the company designs something with a much tighter focus, and has a much more robust design brief without constantly having to add things on,
And the fact that
you end up with less chaff and junk, and actually
well, again,
just a better product.
the fact that there's only 2 expansions for it.
Yeah, and they're essentially just decks of cards by the look of it.
Yeah, they are. Rather than like, here's another board and here's another set of miniatures. Do you know what? Don't get me wrong. I like Everdell for its extra boards and its extra mechanics and everything else. But the Everdell Kickstarters do get me with the FOMO.
Definitely.
Because having got a couple of them, I know for a fact I will be missing out if I miss the next one.
Yeah. I must confess, I was upset about missing Mistwood and New Leaf, and then I just thought, I'll get the retail editions if I'm really bothered. Do you know what I mean? I did feel bad, but then I thought, there's no need to be. Yeah, it's not that big a thing. And also, I've already got tons of Everdell content to play.
Yeah, and again, I've got all the same Everdell content that you have, and I have Mistwood and New Leaf coming. So again, if you want to try it, you know where I am.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is a rulebook to download for people who want to look into the game and see how it works. I don't know if they're doing any print and play components to try it out or what have you, or whether it's just the rulebook. But it's certainly caught David's eye, and it is an attractive looking thing. So €81 is all in, gives you the core game, the monument set,
The expansions,
Ancestral Spirits expansion, Wrath of the Gods expansion, and that's estimated delivery coming up to middle of next year, May, June.
May 23.
Yeah. So
I really like the art style as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does look beautiful. I mean, just look at the art.
It's an absolutely gorgeous artwork style.
very cartoony, very light-hearted, but at the same time, it's beautiful color palette. It's got a very unique look to it. The only thing I would say that I did think, if I scroll back up a bit here, some of the graphic, I don't know if this is finished or whether this is going to be tweaked, but the graphic design on this part of the board looks a bit sterile. There's lots of big open beige areas. And this, for example, this didn't really capture me. I mean, it's very clean looking, and obviously it's going to float somebody's boat, but didn't really do it for me.
No, I'm contemplating it just because I like that style of game.
What have you got? About 2 weeks left, is it, mate?
17 days, I think.
17 days, yeah.
So nearly 3 weeks.
15 days to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you get it, we'll have to have a game. It'd be good. And it's 1 to 4 players as well, so it does have a solo mode, which I think is cool. In fact, I'm sure there is some sort of print and play thing, because I remember reading, when I was reading the blurb, because they said about trying the solo mode out. So I'm sure there must be something where you can print and play, or maybe they've done a video on it showing somebody doing a solo play. Something that people just have to explore.
I'll have a dig. I just wanted to bring it to the attention of people.
So we've got 5 minutes left, mate, and the only other tab I've got open here is your army list.
Yes, my army list, my existential crisis. So prior to the list that Paul has on screen now, we had 13 order dice.
So this
we
is
had
okay. Yes, I can
smaller
see it.
squads. We had 2 5-man SMG teams, both with anti-tank grenades. And then we had a second squad that was or a third squad even, that was rifles with no LMG. Now, obviously, as I touched on earlier in stream, I was slightly triggered that I've only got 12 order dice, not 13, and I'm not substituting. So, therefore, I needed to make a decision and reduce stuff. So I spoke with Paul about it. My main thought of having 2 5-man anti-tank grenade-wielding submachine dickheads was basically to force them down my opponent's throat, because the guns have got F4 range on them, and to be brutally honest, the fact that they've got anti-tank grenades makes them slightly scary in combat for vehicles, and also slightly scary in combat because of their SMGs versus most squads. So that was the thoughts and feelings behind that. The army box comes
SMG with a 12-inch range.
Yeah. The army box comes with a light mortar. Now, I can only use that light mortar if I go for a certain theatre selector, i.e. Operation Market Garden. I'm not committing to that. The only other discussion point we had, Paul, while we was discussing this, was about, do I want to bring a Jeep instead?
Yes.
And whilst there is argument to bringing a Jeep,
the main argument I made was for this here, the flamethrower.
Piat team flamethrower,
particularly the flamethrower, which has only got a 6-inch range. Getting a cheap vehicle to deploy it in people's faces is a good way to get your value out of it, because the problem is, if you don't do that, it will get shot. Because as soon as people see it, it will become target priority number 1. But anyway, you decided against the Jeep?
Yes, I decided against the Jeep because A, I'd need to go and buy a Jeep.
Or print one.
But still, effort. And 2, whilst a Jeep is nice, I'd actually prefer a piece of armour in this list.
Fair.
I'd prefer a Tetrarch light tank with a howitzer, or I would prefer M10 Wolverine, the anti-tank gun. the Achilles, anything like that. I prefer something like that. Now,
Something
Achilles,
heavier than a
Fireflies,
Jeep.
everything are quite high costing in points. So I'm going to have to rejig my list anyway.
Yeah, because your troops are all veterans and elites, it's going to be, you're going to have to prune the list hard to fit something like that in, aren't you?
Exactly. Now, whilst Jeep's cheap enough, they've only got a 3-man carry capacity. Okay, that's fine for sniper, Piat, flamethrower team, even the fucking MMG and stuff. Even good for redeploying the 6-pounder.
Yep.
Because it's a tow. But at the same time, it's gonna get killed by small arms fire. It doesn't even require my opponent to bring anti-tank to destroy it.
That is true.
Is my concern.
Yep, that is true, because it's thin-skinned, isn't it?
And the other thing is, I do not believe I'd be able to take it as a veteran.
I don't know, mate, to be fair.
I think the points cost.
You wouldn't want to, though.
No, but exactly, and then it's more likely to get here, and it just all adds up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess what you're saying. Yeah.
So yeah, my existential crisis was cured last week.
So effectively, what you did was, the only thing you did was you rejigged your infantry structure. So you, instead of
Yeah,
having 2 5-man teams with submachine guns and anti-tank grenades,
yeah.
you've now
I now
got
have
a
one
slightly
5-man with
larger.
SMG.
You've got 7-man squad with SMGs, but only 5 of them have SMGs. You've put in 2 rifle carrying guys who are basically just ablative wounds.
Yeah,
Yeah, to take some shots, and save your SMGs so you don't lose your points.
yeah, and then 2 10-man squads with the Bren gun.
So
One of which has got ATs.
And the other advantage this has given you is these 2 units are now running at full strength. So they're veteran, +1 on order tests for the full strength thing. So they're now sort of like effectively, they need an 11, is it, to fail an order test? Or 12?
Something stupid.
Yeah, insane. And then you just put anti-tank grenades in 1, because obviously you're not running any anti-armor. So
I've got a Piat team, but
that's
again,
true. Yes, yeah, but that's only 12-inch range, isn't it?
yeah, and also it's a 2-man squad, so whilst it's hard to hit, it suffers from exactly the same problem as we've already just discussed with the flamethrower of it's not maneuverable, and it's got a short range.
Yeah, and then once, I suppose, if somebody's got armor, they'll just start throwing machine guns.
Well, again, I've got a 6-pounder as anti-armor, but again, my 6-pounder is going to lock down an avenue or a side of the board.
Actually, 6-pounder's not bad. +5 pen. It's a pretty big.
Yeah, but here's my argument: my 6-pounder I position in such a way that it locks down most of the board. Happy days.
Yep.
Enemy outflanks me. Enemy moves. I've got to get.
What a fixed have? 180 degree? No, 90 degree, innit?
Yeah, front 90 degree.
Yeah, front 90.
So I've got to have my Piat team basically act as a sucker punch if it's out of line of sight of my 6-pounder.
Yep.
And if that fails, i.e. the guys get sniped out, because again, that's a thing that can happen.
True.
I've got to have some form of being able to take on something. So hence the anti-tank grenades in a squad.
Yeah, I mean,
the other counterpoint is certain people are bringing like a Puma and a Panzer IV.
I'll be honest, given the fact that you probably are going to be playing against Germans, having more answers for armor rather than less is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
Because again, I can use the Piat on other stuff as well, can't I? I don't have to exclusively use it on tanks.
No, I mean, I was just something else has just occurred to me now. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you do use tank grenades in close combat, when you're assaulting a vehicle, the number of hits generates your penetration value, doesn't it?
Yeah. So having a larger squad.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. Without actually realising it, putting anti-tank grenades into a 10-man squad is automatically better than having 2 smaller ones, isn't it?
Yes. Because
Yeah.
the other thing is, whilst I can assault twice into the same guys, I've still got to obey the inch rule, haven't I?
Yeah, and again, you're rolling each squad's rolling different hits.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I say, from when I did it with my Japs, I'm sure the number of hits you get is determines your penetration value or something
So
like
yeah,
that.
I think that's my list.
I think it
As
looks
I
good,
say,
mate.
I just possibly want a Jeep or something to have as an option. But let's get some bolt action down and played first before I start thinking about how I'm tarting or going to change my list out.
And essentially, the only thing you've really dropped from the list on the box, I mean, you've slightly rejiggered and reconfigured the infantry, but you've lost the light mortar as well.
Yeah, but again, the light mortar only has a 24-inch range. We had this discussion, didn't we?
I think you've called it. I don't think an army needs 2 mortar teams. I mean, a mortar team is always a handy thing to have, because if your opponent's got something that you don't want to just sit there and keep shooting at, you just put a
I.e.
mortar on it.
snipers.
Just put a mortar on it, and they'll have to move it. Either they destroy your mortar or they have to move it. And
Because again, the other problem with
as
the
long
light
as you've
mortar
got
only
something to
having
do that job,
the light mortar only having 24
yeah,
as well is crippling, because every time I'm moving, because my opponent's moving out of
you're
range,
not. Yeah,
I'm having to reset my value and only hit on 6s.
correct. We did discuss that, didn't we? If you're running a mortar, the mortar wants to be not moving and just starting to fire from the get go. Get focused, get dropping shots so that you zone in. Yeah, it's a nightmare. If your mortar's moving, it's not doing any good. So, no, I think it's a good call, mate. And like you say, I mean, obviously this is your initial project, so you're going to get this done. But then very quickly, you've got room for expansion, haven't you? You're talking about getting yourself armor pieces. Go back to the main
Yeah.
view. Getting yourself some armor pieces and different
Well, I was going to
options.
say, rather than the main view, just to round out and do something a little different, let me refresh my minicam, share my camera, turn my audio off, go for the back, go.
Just bear me a second. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
I need to turn off the web browser, turn on David's camera, and transition. Ooh, you see these? It's funny actually, because I think the trees look quite cool without the details painted, but now you're getting more and more and more on them. They're really looking like Blood Bowl miniatures.
Alive. Yeah.
Before they looked like they could have
Trees.
stepped out of a Sylvaneth army, but now, oh my god, they're looking cool. They are looking really
So it's
cool.
washes, barnacles, highlights, and the barrel on this guy, and then he's done.
Yeah, well, you can just, do you know what you could do? Here's a thing. Use a pull trick. Just highlight the barrel with a different colour. Leave your base note the same. Just take the highlighting in a slightly different direction.
So what? More orangey brown or?
Just choose something different. You could either highlight it into a more tan, washed out brown. You could go.
I know what I could do. Grey green.
You could do it as a. You could take it in any direction you want. But I often do that. I've said to you before. I'll cheat and do base coats. I did it on those Carnivale miniatures. I put the same base coat on 2 or 3 of the colours, and then just chose a different highlight color to differentiate them and separate them in the next step.
But no, I think they are looking part of that.
Definitely. There's a lot of details on them actually when you get started, isn't there? I mean, I was looking, you've still got all
Well,
your
again, it's like
mushrooms
in
and
here,
that.
all my barnacles in here.
Yep.
The anchor. Again, I'm not sure whether to do that like as rusty.
It does make
Or
sense.
do it as a bronze with a verdigris.
An anchor would be steel, wouldn't it?
Yes and no. This is fantasy, remember?
True. I would do it. I think I would do it rusted steel.
But no, that is the progress on tonight's job, and it's pulled them up massively.
That beard looks amazing. It's funny actually, the beard, because you haven't done anything to the beard, have you?
No, I just put a little bit more of a highlight on it tonight.
Oh, you have?
That's
okay,
it. Yeah.
You can tell. It's really brought it to life. They look amazing. It's funny because when you had them before, I didn't realise there was so much extra colour to go in on them. But
Yeah.
they do look amazing now. Really good.
There we go. And only four halflings high. So yeah, that's what I've been up to tonight.
Well, you've managed to get a lot more done than I have. Let me just get this guy back on his base. And because basically all I managed to do was get a base note on his skin. So all I've managed to do is get that cork brown over the skin. One thing that I have managed to do though is get all of the holes and gaps filled with that liquid putty. So
yeah,
it looks
because
a
you've
lot
got a
cleaner.
billion holes in it.
He had all sorts. So it's not a huge amount of success, but it's progress. And as I say, I'm gonna, after stream's finished, I'm gonna sit here for a little bit longer, I think, and get a bit more done because we've only got until Monday, so times are ticking on this one. And thanks everybody who was with us tonight, and everybody who on YouTube who catches us on the replay. It's appreciated. If you can find the time to like, share, subscribe, or comment, then it all is very much appreciated by us, and it helps to get our videos out there to share and grow on YouTube. A bit of a relaxed one this evening. To be fair,
You've needed it.
I'm running on absolutely low ebb because of obviously the nonsense that's gone on over the weekend. But we'll hopefully see you all next week when we come back for another live stream.